Good afternoon, students. Our today topic is IT Act 2000, Information Technology Act 2000 or ITA Act 2000 was notified on October 17, 2000. It is the law that deals with cybercrime and electronic commerce in India. In 1996, the Union National Commission on International Trade Law adopted the model law on electronic commerce to bring uniformity in law in different countries. Further, the General Assembly of the United Nations recommended that all countries must consider this model law before making change to their own laws. India became the 12th country to enable cyber law after it passed the Information Technology Act 2000. While the first draft was created by Ministry of Commerce, Government of India as the E-Commerce Act 1998, it was redrafted as Information Technology Bill 1999 and passed in May 2000. So Information Technology Act 2000, also known as ITA 2000, IT Act 2000. In 1996, United Nations Commission on International Trade Law adopt a model that enable electronic commerce also. It recommended all countries must change their model. As we know, IT Act 2000 amend 4 acts panel, India Penal Code Act, Reserve Bank of India Act, Evidence Act. So United Nations recommend countries to change their models. We can say act, we can say, because before IT Act 2000, all act rely on paper-based work. There is no act that support electronic commerce. So United Nations recommend countries to change their laws. So in 1998, a draft is created that is known as E-Commerce Act is submitted in Indian court. It draft in 1999, named as Information Technology Bill and passed in May 2000 and known as Information Technology Act 2000. Now, what is the main objective of IT Act 2000? The first one is grant legal recognition to all transactions done via electronic exchange of data or other electronic means of communication or e-commerce in place of earlier paper-based method of communication. So as we know, IT Act 2000 support electronic communication. So first main objective of this act is to recognize all transactions are legal or not. The main objective of this act. Give legal recognition to digital signature for authentication of any information or matters requiring legal authentication. So the second objective, to recognize digital signatures. As we know today, all documents in electronic form has digital signature. So we cannot differentiate our original and duplicate by seeing the document. So IT Act support to recognize the whether the document is original or not. So the second objective of this act is give legal recognition to digital signature for authentication. The third one is facilitate the electronic filling of documents with the government agencies and also departments. As we know, in Later years, we have to go at government agencies and have to fill form in paper base. All work done was paper based. So nowadays we can fill our documents online on website, that is in electronic form. So it facilitate electronic filling of documents with government agencies, facilitate electronic storage of data. The next objective of this act is give legal sanitation and also facilitate the electronic transfer of funds between banks and financial institutions. In our previous lecture, we learned about Reserve Bank of India Act, in which IT Act facilitate that funds can be transferred online. Before this act, transfer on money cannot done in electronic form, but after the Information Technology Act 2000, funds can be transferred between banks and financial institutions online, we can say in electronic form. Grant legal recognition to bankers under the Evidence Act 1891 and Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 for keeping the books of accounts in electronic form. As we know, before this act, all work done in paper based. So after Information Technology Act, now Evidence Act and Reserve Bank of India can keep their records in electronic form also. The original act contained 94 sections divided into 3 chapters and 4 schedules. Information Technology Act contained 94 sections, which is further divided into 13 chapters and 4 schedules. The law applies to whole India. If a crime involves a computer or network located in India, person of other nationalities can also be indicated under the law. For example, citizen of Canada commit any cybercrime, but computer or network located in India, that person will come under this act. The action will be taken by Indian government. So if a crime involve a computer or network located in India, person or other nationalities can also be indicated under the law. First case can be person is Indian. The criminal who commit a crime, India citizen. And the second case can be criminal use network, we can say server, remote computer of India. Now the feature of IT Act 2000. All electronic contract made through secure electronic channels are legally valid. So first feature, all electronic contracts made through secure electronic channel are legally valid. Second feature, legal recognition for digital signature, because with the help of IT Act 2000, there are legal recognition for digital signature, security measures for electronic records and also digital signatures are in place. A procedure for the appointment of adjudicating officers for holding inquiries under Act is finalized. Provision for establishing a cyber regulatory applicant tribunal under the Act. Further, this tribunal will handle all appeals made against the order of controller or adjudicating officer. An appeal against the order of cyber applicant tribunal is possible only in High Court. The another feature of IT Act 2000 is digital signature will use an asymmetric crypto system and also a hash function. Provision for appointment of the controller of certifying authorities to license and regulate the work of certifying authorities. The controller to act as the repository of all digital signature. The act apply to offences or contraventions committed outside the India. Senior police officer and other officers can enter any public place and search and arrest without warrant. Provisions for the Constitution of Cyber Regulations Advisory Committee to advise the central government and controller. These are the main feature of IT Act 2000. In short, there are legal recognition of digital signature. If there a crime is committed in cyberspace, there are relevant laws so the victim can appeal in cyber cell, and there are proper legislation system. As we study in this lecture, Information Technology Act divided into 13 chapters. So here I mentioned the 13 chapters titles. As the first one is preliminary definition, digital signature, electronic governance, attribution, acknowledgement, and dispatch of electronic records. The fifth one is secure electronic record and secure digital signatures. Sixth one, regulation of certifying authorities. And the seventh chapter is digital signature certificates. Eighth chapter, duties of subscribers. Ninth chapter, in which penalties and adjudications are mentioned. 10th chapter, the cyber regulations, appellate tribunal. 11th chapter, offenses. Chapter 12, network service provider not to be liable in certain cases. And the 13th one, miscellaneous respectively. So these are the 13 chapters that are in Information Technology Act 2000. So now we will see the different sections of Information Technology Act 2000 with their offense and penalty. So the first section is 65, tampering with computer source document which are required under law to be maintained. So if somebody tamper with source code, we can say change, update the source code in illegal way, then penalty can be 13-year imprisonment or 2 lakh fine, and it can be both 3-year imprisonment plus 2 lakh fine. Section number 66, penalty for damage to computer and computer system, etc. So in this crime, imprisonment can be 3 years and fine can be 5 lakh, and it can be both 3-year fine, 5 lakh fine plus 3-year imprisonment. Section number 66A, sending offensive information or electronically. For example, you somebody send information to threat anybody. So in that case, penalty is 3-year imprisonment with fine. 66B, section number 66B, dishonestly receiving a stolen computer resource or communication device. For example, any information is stolen by any person, but you also use that information, you also receive that information, then penalty can be 3-year imprisonment or fine can be up to 1 lakh. There can be one thing, fine or imprisonment, or also it can be both 3-year imprisonment and up to 1 lakh fine. Section number 66C, identity theft. For example, you use a password, electronic signature. In that case, penalty is 3-year imprisonment and fine up to 1 lakh. Section number 66D, cheating by personalization. Personalization means change. For example, you create a page, for example, net banking login of HDFC. You create same page and steal information from the users. In that case, penalty is 3 year with the fine up to 1 lakh. 3-year imprisonment plus up to 1 lakh fine. Then section number 66E, capturing, publication, transmitting image of private area of any person without consent, violating privacy. In that case, penalty is 3-year imprisonment and fine can be up to 1 lakh. Then the section number 67. Under this section of offense is punishment for publishing and transmitting obscene material in electronic form. So there can be 2 penalties. First one is 3-year imprisonment with fine up to 5 lakh, and second can be imprisonment of 5 year with fine up to 10 lakh. The next section is section number 67A, punishment for publishing and transmitting material containing sexually explicit act in electronic form. There are also 2 penalty can be. First one is 5-year imprisonment with fine up to 10 lakh, and second one is 7-year imprisonment with fine up to 10 lakh. Then the next section is section number 67B, punishment for publishing or transmitting material depicting children in sexually explicit act in electronic form. So there can be 5-year imprisonment with fine up to 10 lakh, and the second can be imprisonment of 7 years with fine up to 10 lakh. Then the section number 67C, failure by intermediary preserve and retain certain record for a stated period. Intermediary means third party, we can say. For example, we buy anything from Amazon and pay some amount. So here our bank, for example, HDFC is intermediary. To failure by intermediary preserve record for stated period. So then penalty is 3-year imprisonment with fine. Then section number 68, failure comply direction of controller. Then penalty 2-year with fine up to 1 lakh. There can be imprisonment of 2 years or 1 lakh fine, and it can be both. Then section number 69, failure to assist in decrypt information as directed by controller in the interest of sovereignty and security of India. For example, if there is any failure in decryption and encryption by organization, then penalty is 7-year imprisonment with fine. Then section number 69A, failure to comply with the direction for blocking public access for any information like website, for example, denial of service attack. In that case, penalty is imprisonment of 7 years with fine. Then section number 69B, powers to central government to collect traffic data from any computer resources for cyber security. It could be either in transit or in storage. Failure to comply with direction, then penalty is 3-year imprisonment with fine. Next section is 70, and the offense for section number 70 is any person who secure access or attempt to secure access to a protected system. We can say unauthorized access. Then penalty is imprisonment of 10 years with fine. Then section number 70A, failure to provide information sought by Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, created under section 70A to serve as national emergency for incident response. Then penalty can be 1 year with fine. Then section number 72, penalty for breach of privacy. Then penalty is imprisonment of 2 years and fine up to 1 lakh. There can be 2 year imprisonment or fine up to 1 lakh or both. Then section number 72A, penalty for disclosure under breach of contract. Then penalty is 3 year imprisonment or fine up to 5 lakh, or it can be both. Section number 73, penalty for publishing digital signature certificate false in certain particulars. Then penalty is imprisonment of 2 years or fine can be up to 1 lakh or both. Then section number 74, publication for fraudulent purpose. Then penalty is imprisonment of 2 years or fine can be up to 1 lakh or it can be both. So this is all about Information Technology Act 2000. So our next topic is cybercrime. Cybercrime is defined as crime where a computer is the object of the crime or is used as a tool to commit an offense. A cyber criminal may use a device to access a user personal information, confidential business information, government information, or disable a device. It is also a cyber crime to sell or leak the above information online. So cybercrime is a crime where computer is used. So criminal commit cybercrime to access personal information. So it can access personal information. It can use business information, government information. It can also access business information or can be disable a device. So in short, any crime that is committed in cyber space instead of a physical world is known as cybercrime. Even for example, a theft in physical world, theft is occur, but if theft is occur in cyberspace, we can say over the internet is known as cybercrime. So cybercrime can generally be divided into two categories. The first one is cybercrime that target network or devices. We can say the effect will be target network or device. For example, virus, malware, denial of service attack. So in the case of virus, device is targeted because the files of computer system is destroyed. Denial of service attack, it target networks because it hold the services provided by any device, any server. So the second category is crime using devices to participate in criminal activity. So a criminal activity is done in which a computer device we can say is involved. The first one is phishing emails. As we know, phishing emails means hackers send email to the individuals and it is look like a original. For example, hacker send a email that is look like a bank mail, and people cannot differentiate easily. And the main purpose of a hacker to hack the bank information from the user. So the in this device are used to perform a criminal activity, to hold to take information from user, to assess the personal information from the user. The next one is cyber stalking, identity theft. So basically cybercrime is any criminal activity that take place in cybercrime or over the internet. So the next topic is cybercrime against individual. So firstly, let us know about what is cybercrime against individual. This category of cybercrime involve one individual distributing malicious or illegal information online. So in short, we can say any criminal activity that affect an individual personality is known as cybercrime against individual. So the effect of any criminal activity will be seen on only a individual. So cybercrime against individual can include cyber stalking, trafficking, dissemination of obscene material, defamation, unauthorized control access over computer system, indecent explorer, cheating and fraud, breach of confidentiality, email spoofing. So let us know about these one by one. So the first one is cyber stalking. It is similar like stalking that is done in physical world. Somebody follow, but that is occur in physical world. Then stalking is occur in cyberspace is known as cyber stalking, in which hacker, we can say criminal, follow a individual in cyberspace. So this kind of cyberspace involve online harassment where user is subjected to a plethora of online messages and email. So the main motive, main objective of hacker in cyber stalking is harassment that is performed through online messages or email. Typically, cyber stalkers use social media, websites, and search engines to intimidate a user and instill fear. Usually, the cyber stalker knows their victim and makes the person feel afraid or concerned for their safety. In cyber stalking, hacker know the victim, and the main motive of cyber stalking is harassment, and hacker try to afraid a victim about their safety. The next one is trafficking, the activity of buying and selling goods of people illegally is known as trafficking. When trafficking is committed with use of internet is called cyber trafficking. So similarly, buying and selling of goods in physical world illegally, but when it occur in cyberspace or with the help of internet is known as cyber trafficking. The third one is dissimulation of obscene material. Dissimulation of obscene material or pornography is believed to one of the largest business on the internet today. The criminal obtain the pictures of common women and girls from social networking sites and use software for creating obscene images. For example, hacker obtain a picture of any girl from social networking and use some software to edit it and then post on social networking sites. So in that case, individual will suffer. So dissimulation of obscene material will comes under cybercrime against individual. Then the next one is defamation. Firstly, what is the meaning of defamation is giving an injury to the reputation of a person, resulting from a statement which is a false. So defamation means any false statement that will hit the reputation of any person. In physical world, we publish on newspaper anything about a person that injure the reputation of that person. That is in physical world. If same thing is happen in cyberspace, we can say over websites, over social media, then it is known as cyber defamation, and it is also known as internet defamation and online defamation. For example, nowadays politics post anything about a person, about a politics person, to injure the reputation of person is known as cyber defamation. The next one is unauthorized control access over computer system. Unauthorized access is when a person gains entity to a computer network, system, application software, data, or other resource without permission. So firstly, one is the what is the unauthorized access? Unauthorized access is when a person who is not eligible to access any resource is gain access. So the most common reasons why unauthorized access is done by hacker, the main purpose is steal sensitive data, cause damage, hold data hostage as part of our ransomware attack, play a prank. For example, when somebody try to log in on your Facebook account, they steal sensitive information means your ID and password. So after knowing ID and password, hacker can access your Facebook account. So first one is steal sensitive data. So hacker can steal your sensitive data like email ID, phone number, and cause damage. Play a prank. Play a prank means he or she will post some data on your Facebook account. So unauthorized access over computer against individual. It will hit the individual. For example, if a hacker hack the account of person whose name is Ram, then in that case only Ram will be affected. So unauthorized control access over computer system is a cybercrime against individual. Cheating and fraud, breach of confidentiality. A breach of confidentiality is when data or private information is disclosed to a third party without the data owner consent. For example, student take admission in a college. He or she submit their data like phone number, email, address, and if college disclose their information like phone number, email to the third party without permission of student, then it is a cheating or fraud, breach of confidentiality. So in that case, individual will be affected. The student will be affected whose phone number and email ID is shared with third party. Then the last one is email spoofing. It is a form of cyber attack in which a hacker sends an email that has been manipulated to seem as it is originated from our trusted sources. Let us understand about it with the help of an example. For example, you all receive emails from your bank, and for example hacker manipulate our email that is seem like your bank mail. Hacker send a mail to you, you click on mail and you redirect on a page that is look like a login net banking. You enter your ID and password, and when you click on submit button, your information will be sent to the hacker. So when hacker receive your ID and password, he or she can be log in and use your account. In that case, an individual will be affected. So this is all about cybercrime against individual.